All right, now I watched a piece from another video about the young woman who was married to a military man, okay? And I guess she said he's working his way up and, you know, was about to go out on some business ventures or whatever. She was married to him. They have 2 children, all right? So they are now divorced. She was basically saying that she wants a high value man and a guy who makes a certain amount of money. Totally fine if that's what you want. Nobody's going against that. But she then went on to say that, you know, if she wants her boys to go to private school, there's nothing wrong with that. And if a man basically can pay for that, then he should be able to, okay? Basically, you want a meal ticket. And if that's what you want, just say it. There are some men that are okay with that. Now, there's a trade-off, okay? There are some things that you're gonna have to sacrifice. And honestly, men who are okay with that may not want you. So you also have to be all right with that. But the point is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this woman wanting a man who has a certain lifestyle or is successful or makes a certain amount of money. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with why you want him. You want him solely for that reason, okay? Now, you did not come from a situation where your husband was a high value man or made a certain amount of money. And now there are certain things that you want for yourself and for your children. So you want to get a man to take you and your children on who can foot the bill. So let me tell you something about this. And I'm gonna speak as a mother and somebody who knows, I know several single mothers or women who have kids and have never been married. And I know a lot, and guess what? Their kids are in some of the best private schools. And do you know who is footing that bill? They are. And do you know what they did? They worked their butts off. A lot of people, but they're hard workers. They get second jobs. They don't take the trips. They don't do the girls' weekends and brunches and always have their hair and nails done because they want a certain quality of life for their children. So as a mother, they sacrifice so they can give to their children. That is what mothers do. You make sacrifices so your children can have more. There is no reason why you have to get with a certain man if you want your kids to go to private school. You want them to go to private school, send them to private school. Do you know how many scholarships are available, especially for young black men to go to these private schools? So if they're athletes, then you make sure you put them on the best teams. You make sure you get them extra training, anything to set them apart from the other athletes, anything to make sure that they stand out amongst the best. You get them the tutors. You put them in robotics, coding, gaming, anything that you can, okay, to make sure that on paper they look good, and send them. You can send your kids to private school. You don't have to go find a man and trick him and use him as a meal ticket to send your kids to private school. As a woman, if you want to send your kids to private school, you do whatever you gotta do to send them. But it should not be at the cost of somebody else's happiness, peace, dime, or anything like that. If you happen to get with a man who loves you and loves your children, and they want the best for them, and they're like, hey, let's send them to private school, then that's fine. But you're trying to trick them, and that's not right. You know what I'm saying? We talk about how men use women. Women, we use men. I don't get it. I don't understand the double standard. It's not right. One thing my dad told me growing up, I don't want you all to be with any man who cannot do for you the way I have done for you. But if that man leaves you, your light should stay on. So yes, like my dad set the bar high, but he also said, make sure you got your own. If that man, for whatever reason, decides to walk out that door, your bills should still be paid. Your lights should still stay on. All right? Come on now, ladies. We got to do better. We have got to do better.